Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here once more. About a year ago I made a vintage street lamp. So I thought I'd try a different approach to it, just slightly different, and make a double lamp post, which makes it much more interesting. Basically the same principle, but just with a few changes. So I thought I'd post this. If I move this aside, you can see it looks a bit better than my previous one. If I repeat myself on a video, it is only because I have a slightly better idea and improve on my previous video. So I think this is a bit better than the last one, shall we just say that. Okay, so let's get into the video and I will show you exactly how I went about making it. In the meantime, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, click all. When you click notification, click all, and you will be notified as soon as I put new videos up. Okay, so let's get on with the video and I'll show you how I did it. So I would normally use 2mm cardboard. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that's what I use mainly. But that's going to be far too thick. So we need a lot thinner type of cardboard. So any kind of packaging that you have lying around the house, a food packaging, cornflake packet, in this case a soap box, so that kind of thickness, quite pliable but nice and thin to be able to work with. Okay, so once we've got a piece of card like that, a nice straight edge down there, and then a 90-degree line up through the middle, and from that line we need ½ an inch, so 1/4 of an inch either side of that center line, which is 12mm, so 6mm either side. Then you need to measure up from this straight edge 7/8 of an inch. Where are we? That's 22mm. So measure up there 7/8 or 22mm, draw a line, and then either side of the center line we need 3/4 of an inch, so 3/8 either side, 18mm, so 9mm either side. Okay, they're the dimensions: 7/8, ½ inch, 3/4. Join those two lines up, and well, you don't need this inside thing for the minute. We're just concerned with the shape of one side of the lantern. Okay, once we've got that, cut that out. Okay, and then lay that on a slightly bigger piece of card and draw around it. Move it along and line up that straight line on there, draw around that, and there and there, 4 times, and you'll have that shape. Okay, then cut that shape out like that. Now you've got, rather than having to do all that for every lantern, however many you want, you've got a pattern now to make as many as you like. In my case, I'm going to make 3 lanterns, 3 separate lanterns. So that will be 6 actual lantern. Well, I don't know what you call each separate one, but they're going to have 2 lanterns on each stand. So let's call them stands. So I will need 6 of these. So rather than mark 6 out, I've got a pattern now to make 6 of them. Well, in fact, I can make as many as I like. So once you've got that shape, then you can mark out an inside dimension. You can make this in, well, I've made it 3/32ths, which is about 2 or 3 millimeters. But anyway, a nice border all the way around like that, and then you can place that on there, mark around that, and cut those out. So what you end up with is something like that. Now, the clever bit. Because it's such thin cardboard, you need to score along these separation lines so that you can bend the card 90 degrees like that. It just needs a very fine cut, and maybe it's an idea to practice on an offcut, just to see what pressure you need to cut through, because it's not too much, and obviously you just cut it straight through. But anyway, that's what you need to do. Score along those 3 lines there, so that when you join them all up, you've got the shape of the lantern like that. Okay, that's the difficult bit, getting like this bit. What you do then is paint it black. Okay, and then with either some see-through packaging, or if I can lift it, if I can even find it, I've used an A4 sheet of acetate, which is a very thin plastic see-through material, but you can use any kind of packaging that you might find lying around that is see-through. Okay, and then cut another pattern which is slightly smaller than the inside of your one section of your lantern, and then you can where is it? Then you can cut these shapes out. If I can get one there, like that. That's what you need. It's a bit fiddly, not easy, but then with PVA glue, stick those to the inside of your lantern like that. So it needs to be slightly smaller than the outside dimension, but slightly bigger than the hole you've cut out, so that there's room for it to stick like that. And it doesn't want to be right up against the line, because when you fold this, you don't want to fold the acetate, if you see what I mean. Okay, so 4 of those stuck in there. When they're dry, then you can stick them all together. All you'll need to do is stick on one join down there. That's all you need. Hot melt glue is okay, but you don't want much. Just a very, very slight bead of hot melt glue along one edge, and that will give you your lantern. Okay, so now we need a top. So what I've done, I've cut a piece of, well, back to 2mm card again now. I've cut a piece slightly bigger than the top of the lantern, like that. That's slightly bigger, and then 3 pieces slightly smaller on top. So it goes like that. Okay, and then these I don't know what you're going to call them. You know, when you stick a piece of paper to a notice board, you use these things. I don't know what they're called, but you can saw off that ball on the end, because that's exactly the right size that you're going to need to stick on the top. So it ends up like that. Okay, so hot melt glue that onto there, glue all these 3 together, and then that will stick on top like that. to make the lantern, and that obviously will be painted black also. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do all 6 of those that I need, come back and we'll do the next bit. Okay, so I've made up my 6 lanterns, all nicely glazed and painted. Okay, so we've got the top on. What we need now is the bottom. So what I've done, the same kind of thing, a piece of card just slightly bigger than the top of the lantern, that will sit underneath like so, and then just another piece just to make it look more architecturally interesting. Okay, then with the end of a barbecue stick, the pointy end, I've painted the end yellow so that will go, where are we? That way. That will stick down. I need to drill the holes out a little bit more, but that will go down into that hole there, and this will be up in the lantern, and it will, okay, it's not that great an idea, but it looks from a distance, about 3 miles away, it looks from a distance like a light inside the lantern, so it'll look like that. Okay, so from a distance it looks like a light. Now the more clever of you will be able to put a real little tiny light in there and feed the wire down through the post, but I'm not that clever, so I'm not going to bother. But it looks to all intents and purposes like a lamp inside, a light inside, and I'm going to keep the pointy bit as part of the design of the lamp. So okay, we'll have 6 of those. Okay, put to one side. Now I wanted the post, well, not ideally, but I had the idea of using a pencil, a thin round pencil, but then I looked at my paint brushes and I thought, well, that makes a little more interesting shape than just a straight pencil. It's wider at the bottom than it is at the top, so that's about as much detail as I can get into the post. So I did that, and then put a cardboard surround around the bottom like that, and then gave it a coat of wall filler. I just pushed some filler into the gap there, and then with my thumb just turn that round like that, and it makes it look like a all-in-one kind of thing, you know what I mean? So again, just makes it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, so they're the posts. Then at the top, drilled a hole through the paintbrush handle and put the rest of the some barbecue stick through, 2 1/4 inches I think that is, and then again some card cut that will sit either side like that. Where are we? Okay, that will go either side like that, and then my lamps can fit on the end like that. Hang on, like so, on either side. So I think that'll look pretty impressive. I think that'll be okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do all 3 now, finish them all off, and set them onto a road, and we'll see what they look like when they're all finished. Personally, I can't wait. Okay, I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, finished them all off now, painted them all up black, and set them into a bit of a street scene. And now I will admit that you wouldn't get quite so many lamps in a shorter distance as this, but just for display purposes only, you understand. So I just think it looks a little more impressive than just the one lantern on top of a post. And if you're going to go to the trouble of making one, you might as well make two, or in my case 6. It's just as easy to make more. So there we are, just an idea, easy to make. I just used, well, as you saw, a soapbox and a paintbrush handle and a few bits of cardboard, and that's basically all. Okay, so leave it with you. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in model making of any kind for 1/32 scale dioramas. Warhammer, is it? I keep saying Warhammer, although I've no idea what it is. But I'm sure it must be useful for that as well. And obviously on a smaller scale for railroad layouts. Okay, so thanks again. See you in the next video. And as always, I wish you the very best of happy modelling.